Hey everybody, I'm Sean.
And I'm Steph.
And we are Rampant Design. Welcome to episode number 12 of Running Rampant, a little show that takes you behind the scenes of Rampant Design. Shows you all this cool magic right here. Look at this crazy stuff. Talks about a little bit about what it's like to run a small business. And of course, then we answer questions that you do not ask, so we do not answer them. What's up this week?
On today's episode, we're talking about vulnerability, education, and taking pride in your work.
Kaboomy. All right, so what's new here at Rampant? I think pretty sure we've been playing video games, ordering pizza.
I wish we were doing all those things, but no, we've been very busy. We have new Final Cut plugins coming out. We have new Premiere presets coming out, which are really, really cool. We are also still cranking out our style effects, so we have some new ones of those coming out. And let's see, we're doing this show, Rampant Live show, and other shows, and
I think you're doing like a live show at Disney, right? You're like skiing or juggling.
There's just so much going on. So we got calls to do other shows. There's a lot of stuff going on. So we are very busy, but we are working very, very hard and getting all this stuff done. You should see Sean's presets. They are amazing. They're super cool. Things that I've never seen in Premiere being done. So that's kind of a cool thing. And the Final Cut stuff is getting done. We're doing some really cool overlays.
The coolest. I'm
They're
loving
really
them.
Pretty. They're so pretty.
They are very saturated, very colorful, very pretty, and there's nothing like it for Final Cut users at this time. The Premiere thing is really cool. It is a challenge as an artist. For those of you who work in After Effects, if you work in After Effects every day like I do, and then you try to do something similar in Premiere, you just want to, or whatever. It's a nightmare. But that doesn't matter because the goal was to make useful tools for Premiere editors that were built using built-in native plugins. So you don't need anything. You just drop these presets in, select them, put them on your footage, and kablowie, you're good to go. So right now they're in the hands of all of our beta testers, and there's a lot of them this time around because this is not really my jam. It was a really fun creative experiment, step out of my creative zone, my comfort zone. And so now everyone's tearing it apart. So we'll see. So far it's good.
Everybody loves them.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's cool. It's just, it's one of those things where it was a project I've always wanted to do, and we've done it, and it's very, very crazy. But Rose, we're working on your project as well, and this project helped me with the research for your project. So I haven't forgotten about you. This is just part of this huge creative process. I'm sorry it's taking so long. And on top of this, we're also shooting new style effects and got a lot of stuff coming in June, July, and August. Huge project coming in July, doing some big things with other people. It just doesn't stop. It seems like the snowball gets bigger, So what are we talking about today outside of Rampant?
So our first topic today is all about vulnerability and putting yourself out there. So, and this kind of pertains, I think, to anybody's profession, no matter what career choice you are. If you're running your own business, if you're a freelancer, if you're working for somebody else, putting yourself out there is a huge, huge thing, and being vulnerable is a huge thing. So, take it away.
Well, thanks there, Bob. All right. No, here's the thing. In 2016 and going further, this is a great time to be alive, but business has changed. You don't take an ad out in the phone book. You don't put a thing in the penny flyer or whatever they call it in your region. You don't put up a post-it on a bulletin board in your local grocery store. That's just, it's just, you just don't do that. You don't put flyers in people's cars anymore. This is just not how business is done anymore. So if you're running any kind of company or doing anything that involves a community, it's outside of you. So unless you're making puppet shows or animated Lego movies for yourself, if you're doing something that involves other people, you have to engage on social networking. And it's not just me. We get made fun of by some of our friends who tease me about posting so much. It's like, this dude posts like once a year and he's making fun of me for posting all the time. Well, I'm taking that page from other entrepreneurs who I'm watching, as well as people like Gary Vee, who are very adamant about constantly posting because there's so much data out there that you just constantly have to hit it. It doesn't matter what social platform you're using, Facebook, Twitter, it doesn't matter. You're not going to see every single person's post every single day. It's just not possible. So that being said, make yourself vulnerable. It has to happen. I don't like being in front of the camera. If you watch this episode and then go back and watch episode 1, I'm like, just let's get it over with. It's just one of those things. I hate it. I truly hate it, but it's important. I love our customers. I love our fans. I love our community, and I love helping people. And nowadays, in order to do that, part of that, no matter what you do, is being vulnerable. And it's for everybody. So don't be afraid. Write Do vlogs. Vlogs are easier for me, but just put yourself out there, you know. There are people like you all over the world, so I'm sure there's someone out there who's like me. If you're out there, I want to meet you.
And it's, another thing that if you're being forced to be on camera, or if you're being forced to do, something that makes you uncomfortable, talk to people in your industry, because I guarantee you that they feel the same way or felt the same way when they started doing this. There's the possibility of me teaching a class, and there is already a wonderful guy, Jeff Greenberg, who wants to help me out. So
Wunderbar.
it's there's a lot of people that would be willing if you just ask for the help. So definitely don't let that stop you. But it's very important to have people know who you are and know what you stand for, I guess, right?
No, I guess it's true. Yeah, no, it just it's just a necessity. Just so put yourself out there, do your thing, and don't worry about what people say. You know what? Odds are you don't get as much hate as I do. Or maybe you do. Congratulations. I get a ton of hate. I get some really questionable comments. You can critique me all you want. There's nothing wrong with a critique, And there's nothing wrong with people who whine. We get a lot of whining, too. It's like, are you an adult? This is ridiculous. But outside of that, you get a lot of hatred. People just mocking everything about you. They don't know anything about you. It's ridiculous. So don't worry about all that stuff, It just shrug it off. It's going to happen. You put yourself out there, it's probably going to happen, but don't worry about it. It's all good. We have far more people who support us at this time than people who don't. So
build your community.
Build your community. Do your thing. Read Ask Gary V. Actually, any Gary V book, read that. Follow Dave Balsuto. Find entrepreneurs that you aspire to be, or you like them. You admire them, and just do what they do. Write them. You'd be surprised how many times you can write an entrepreneur and they'll write you back. It's pretty open about being an entrepreneur. So if you're trying to do your own thing, do your own thing. Don't worry about it. Make yourself honorable.
Cool.
Yeah. So
that's
what
good.
else?
All right. Topic number 2 is education. We've been talking about this a ton together, like between Sean and I, and then with our friends and other colleagues. And the big question is, what about education? What is it that, do you need to go to film school? Do you need to go to school for this? Do you have to do this, this, and this? So we have, I was a teacher, so I have sometimes different opinions from Sean on certain things, but basically we both, but I'll let Sean talk, but both of us kind of believe that if you need education for your job, then you need to get education. But not all jobs require you to go to a 4-year university and have a degree. It's not necessary. So there are things that you can do, like getting an internship, and just you can taking your. Well, you can continue. I'm messing this all up.
You're not messing anything up. No. Look. It's just our opinion, but on the global thing, outside of our industry, not everyone needs to go to college. 20 years ago, people realized that colleges could be just massive money makers. It's not just for people who want to be doctors or lawyers or whatever. So now there's, there weren't this many colleges 20, 30 years ago, and now there's just a friggin' amazing amount of colleges online, just colleges you've never even heard of who claim they've been around since 1865, don't know how that's possible, whatever it is. So here's the long and the short from me about college. Globally, outside of the video industry, you do not need to go to college to make a good living. Follow Mike Rowe. Listen to what he has to say. There are people writing their own check, doing things like working on solar farms and working, lots of manual labor positions that are on-the-job training that are making 6 figures or more, or high 6 figures, or, $90,000 to $150,000 a year, whatever it is, but higher than the average annual salary of most people. And you don't need to go into debt. You don't need to go to school, and it's all on-the-job training. For whatever reason, we've all become afraid of actual manual labor. As a community, as a world, yeah. We are just afraid of manual labor. I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with it. And I'm going to burst everyone's bubble here. Film is a trade. It is 100% on-the-job training. If you want to be a filmmaker, watch films. If you want to make music videos, you watch music videos. You want to be on a crew, doesn't matter what school you went to, you're going to get on a crew, you're going to start at the lowest position, and you're going to learn. You're going to become an apprentice. You're going to move your way up. This is how it works. If you want to be an independent filmmaker, you buy gear, you learn how to use the gear, you hone your craft every single day. You're your own apprentice. So that being said, instead of dropping $100,000 on film school, hear me out. Don't click dislike her or I hate you or whatever. Just hear me out. Say your school's going to cost $100,000, right? Put that money in a bank. Find four people that you admire that you really, or companies that you want to work for, right? As an intern, you want to study with them. You want to learn from them. You're not asking to be CEO, right? You're not calling up ILM. Yo, would love to run this. Hello? No, I'm saying it could be ILM. Find four people or companies that you truly want to learn from. Write them a heartfelt, non-form letter. Keep it short, but be honest and be real. Don't go, dear blank. The second you screw up a form letter, you're in trouble. So just be honest, be real, and then wait. You'd be surprised how many people are like, yeah, okay, what we can do is we can get you either an internship or an entry-level position. You're going to do some grunt work, but you're going to learn and you're going to work and you're going to immerse yourself with all the talent that we have. Now, a person who puts themselves in that position and they work hard is going to achieve whatever they want, right? So that's cheaper than going to college. I personally went to film school. I'm glad I did, but 99.99999% of everything that I know has been all on-the-job training. Film school got my foot in the door, but it was really more my passion and me annoying the living snot out of all these talented people, all these artists and all these editors. I just bugged them. I look at it as like, you've got this huge bag of tricks. I want those. And I learned from anybody who would talk to me. That has nothing to do with my film school. And I lived in a shoebox in Hollywood forever. It took me 12 years to pay off my student loans, and I was making double and triple payments. I have friends who went to the same school, the same class that I did. They're still making payments. Okay? Your payments aren't done.
Right.
So, do you need to go to college? It's important to learn the fundamentals. It's important to learn color theory. It's important to learn the basics. But you can learn all of these things on YouTube. You want to be a filmmaker? Film Riot and Video Copilot. That's a great place to start. Then if you want to pay, if you want to hone your craft, go to Gnomon. Pick up Linda. Whatever it is. But there's so much amazing free knowledge out there. Oh, and by the way, go to AskRampant.com. We'd love to have you. But still, there's so much free knowledge out there. Why would you pay for it? And you know what? A lot of the free knowledge is way better than the paid for knowledge. I hear people complaining all the time, well, I make tutorials and now I can't sell them anymore. Well, it turns out your tutorials aren't any good. You're not real. My tutorials, I get ripped on all the time, but I speak the way I am. So it's like you're sitting next to me and I'm just showing you the way I was showed. They didn't stop and go, this is the keyframe. Move it over here. No, they're like, okay, so here's how I do my job. You come over here, and in this situation, I would do this. I'm learning real-world examples, why this person is doing this, and it's not like, now go to here, now move this over here. No, it's all technique. It's all learning the software and the gear properly. Same with camera work. I had some amazing cameramen teach me everything I know about camera work. Same with directing and lighting and shooting and editing and visual effects and motion graphics. I was a visual effects artist for 15 years in Hollywood. I then worked for Disney. Everywhere I went, I learned something from somebody. Just because when I went to Disney, these people weren't Hollywood people. I met some of the best editors on the planet who schooled me. So I sat down, humbled myself, and said, this is amazing. And now I learned all their edit tricks. So I'm like, whoa, it's just free knowledge. So that's what I think. It's just keep learning, never stop learning, and don't pay a dime for it. You don't need to, right? So that's my thought. Stephanie probably feels a little bit different.
Well,
she's got like 45 degrees.
I have 2 degrees and
16 years in college.
I did spend a few years in college getting those 2 degrees, both 4 years apiece, but it's fine.
That's 8 years, doctor. 8 years, doctor.
Okay, so I feel that there's a place for college and there's not a place for college. I don't think that every job needs to have education. I think that
formal education.
Every
job needs education. You don't just walk in,
I'm
fixing this Ferrari today.
I think colleges and universities have become a money-making business, and they are all about themselves. They don't care about you or you getting a job anymore. And I sort of started seeing that when I was in school, and now I feel like that's all I see from colleges. There are more colleges today than I've ever seen in my life. When I was looking at senior in high school and you're looking at your colleges, there's like one college, maybe the big states like Florida, Texas, California have a few colleges, but there's like community colleges and then there's like one state school. So that was your choice, or you could go to the Ivy Leagues. So you didn't have 15 choices in a 15-mile radius that you can go get a degree from.
True.
It's crazy how the money that these schools are bringing in, and they're not really promising a whole lot or giving, they're promising the world, but they're not giving you a whole lot in return. So I think that you have to weigh your options. For me, I have a degree in biology and art. I guess it's very strange, but so I didn't have any experience in the video world until I met Sean, and I saw him doing it, and I was really interested in how he was, creating these effects and doing these edits and just running cameras. And I'm like, how do you do that? So I actually learned. I self-taught myself all through YouTube because I tried from him, and he's a terrible teacher, by the way.
Oh!
You're not a very good teacher. He's a good teacher for tutorials, but not for me. So that would work. So
it's because I speak English, she speaks half alien. That's the problem. We need a translator.
So I had to turn to the internet, turn to YouTube, and really find training. And I did. I got books. I bought Final Cut books. I bought motion books. I bought After Effects, Premiere, all that stuff. I have all of those books. And then I went on and did. So when I learned that, and then learned tricks from. Because on YouTube, you learn tricks. You don't really learn... You can learn sort of how to do something, but it's more of like a specific thing. So I wanted to learn more in depth on why do you have to use that trick? Why do you do that? So then I have to go find another resource. So I think that if you're in today's day and age with all of this technology and all of this access that we have to everything around the world, you can chat with people from London like they're sitting right next to you on FaceTime. I mean, it's crazy. So with all of this knowledge that you can get, I mean, it's a great time to get that knowledge, and you don't necessarily need college to get that knowledge. So it's, I don't know, it's just, and then on the other hand, was a teacher. So it's, I push, my high school kids to, okay, let's pick your college. Let's go do this. And,
well, that's only because that's how the high school is structured.
That's how school is structured. And now that I have been able to think about it and sort of look at it and see how I self-taught myself for all of this, for the editing stuff. It's like, do you really need that? I don't know. So I'm kind of torn on each way. I think that there's a place for school. There's a place for education. I definitely don't want my doctor to learn how to be a doctor on YouTube. So I'm not saying that, or my lawyer.
Welcome to Open Heart Surgery 101.
I definitely don't want to do that, but it is, I don't know. There's a place for education, and there's a place for you to just dig down and learn what you want to learn. And I think you have to find that for yourself and really weigh out the cost, because if you take that you're going to make a $40,000 a year job out of college, which is pretty normal for, you want to make 80, 90, 100,000, but you're not going to do that out of school, right out of school. So
not most people.
Take into account how long is it going to take you to pay this loan back? If you're getting to go to college free, woo, that's fantastic. But if you're not, then really weigh it out. And I know it's difficult when, I can look back. I wasn't weighing out anything. I just thought that's what you had to do, was go to school.
Right.
Everybody goes to college. You're nothing if you don't go to college. But
it's ridiculous.
You really have to think about what you're doing and think about where you want to go and what can that school give you. And I think that's sort of my new philosophy on education.
Yeah. I want to go back to film school real quick. In 20 years, I've been asked for my degree one time in 20 years. And that's because I worked in a very corporate environment for that one particular gig. Never, ever, ever in Hollywood did anyone go, so where'd you go to school? No, they want to see your reel. They want to know what you did last. They don't care. Not you. So here's the thing. When it comes to film school, if you've got mad cash, mommy and daddy is rich, or somebody, and you want to go to USC, UCLA, or Cal Arts, or NYU, I threw Cal Arts in there for a second. I'm excluding them real quick here, but the NYUs and the UCLAs and the USCs, if you got mad bank, right, and you want to go there because you're buying into a fraternity, if you have the cash, by all means. All my friends, or the people I know, they're not really friends because I'm beneath them, right? So they're blue bloods, I'm down here, but all the people I know who go to those schools, they've bought into a fraternity. Everybody sticks up for themselves, so all of a sudden doors are open for you because you went to USC or UCLA. That's great. If you have those opportunities, I'm not dogging them, but there's about a quadrillion film schools out there, or film degree programs out there, or film trade school, or video effects trade schools, or visual effects trade schools, whatever. There's a bunch of film and video school things out there and programs out there that don't have those opportunities, right? So go to film school if you want. If you have a very specific vision of what you want to do, if you want to be a Pixar animator, then get your butt into CalArts. That is a direct, mainstream, mainline, straight into Disney, right? It always has been. Walt helped get that school a direct channel into Disney animation and now Pixar. There's other great schools too, art schools. I'm not dogging you if you went to an art school. There's a bunch of great art schools, but
we're not. If you did education, we're not saying we've both been to school. We're just saying that there's a place for everything. There's a place for
I'm just saying now today, if I was graduating high school and I know then what I know now, I'd just go to Hollywood and just work. I would have been so much less in debt. I could have taken that money and put it down on a house, or not lived in just a dirty place in North Hollywood. I lived in some really garbage places in Hollywood because I had all these crazy bills for my student loans. I had a broke car. I walked everywhere or got rides with friends. I'm telling you this. I mean, you wouldn't step foot in these apartments I was living in, and I'm not messy or anything. It's just gross. I'm pretty sure I saw a chalk outline on the. Just vacuum that up. You'll be good. Film school for me is a ridiculous idea. It's not. I think you'd be better off going to a trade program than to a film school. So many people I know who are graduating right now, they don't know anything about the gear, or they're too much based in theory. I guess it just depends on what you want to do. But all my favorite directors nowadays, they didn't go to film school, or they did, and then they've really learned from their own craft or from interning from somebody. So film school is just a step. I don't know many people who graduated in film school. It's like, all right, I got my my director's deal from 20th Century Fox, and I got a 3-picture deal, and I'm good to go. I don't know anybody like that. Nowadays you make a ton of films. Watch all these independent directors. Watch guys like Seth Worley and Ryan Connolly and Andrew Kramer. These people put in their hard work, and it gets them to where they want to go. So none of that, I believe, involves schooling. So. That's my thought. I'm sure I'll get hatred. I had a woman yell and scream at me because she wanted her son to go to the same college I did. I went to Full Sail University, and I believe the only reason why I liked my experience is because I bugged the living snot out of all my professors and lab instructors. I finished the coursework within minutes. So I was just like, give me more knowledge, give me more experience, teach me Composer, teach me fluid dynamics, teach me After Effects, teach me things that are just not in the curriculum. I breezed through the curriculum like it was nothing. I literally rarely studied, and I graduated at the top of my class, super high grades. It was just stupid simple for me. That tells me I probably shouldn't have gone to school. I could probably have saved that money and just learned from people, because all my crazy tricks and techniques and everything that I know is 100% from all the great Inferno artists and directors who took me aside and took me under their wing and said, I'm going to show you what it is because I can see the drive and the passion in you. So, and I'm not special. Everybody has drive and passion about something. So why pay for it?
I think that's great.
Sweet. So what's next?
What was the last topic?
Let's see.
You're not helping me.
I don't know. You said putting yourself out there. Film school?
Taking pride in your work.
Oh, yes. Okay, so this comes from us a little bit, both personally and professionally. I am constantly asked to do stuff for free, for exposure. I don't need exposure. I need to pay my power bills. I'm constantly being bullied about our pricing. And in this case, we were talking about the difference of $9. $9. I mean, a huge web fight. I wasn't fighting. I was being nice. I was being professional. But I was getting yelled at. $9. $9! Can't even fill your tank for that, but we're going to just get into a huge brawl over $9. Look, here's the deal. It doesn't matter what other people say about your work. Take pride in your work. If you truly put in hard work and you feel there's some value, other people will see the value. You're going to run into people who think this should be free or this should be cheap. I literally had a guy take a look at one of my latest projects and declare that it should be free because he saw it from somebody else and they didn't mention a price. That person doesn't work for our company. Why would they mention prices? It's not QVC. Up today, folks, we got this wonderful thing. It's downloadable, $29. What? No. And that never happened. That's not a thing. The guy who likes our stuff said, hey, check out Rampant. And then I get this letter, it should be free because he said nothing about the prices. And then starts ridiculing me about what the prices are. Again, $9. I base our prices off of industry standards, averages, as well as how long it takes. This particular project was about 60 hours worth of work. Again, $9, folks, and this person was claiming it should be either free or $9 cheaper, even though I offered them a 50% off coupon because there was one at the time. So it was really not an issue. Regardless, I get calls all the time from companies whose sole purpose of existence is to get video done on the cheap. And they will say, they have like a script, just like the people who call you and try to sell you something. They have a line and an answer for everything. And you're like, look, this is my hourly rate. Yeah, well, but you know, this is blah, blah, blah company. You know how we are. There's always an answer. So people are always going to try to get you to lower your rate. Only you know what your worth is, but take pride in your work. If you're brand new and you're working for exposure, be very careful about the exposure that you're getting and make sure to monopolize on that as much as you possibly can, because just doing something for free is not exposure. Okay? And here's a news flash. Just because someone mentions you on a picture or a website or says something doesn't get you. We had somebody said, you're going to give me your entire library and I'm going to mention you at the back end of this project and you're going to make millions. This person's got like 200 followers on YouTube. Not going to make millions. That's crazy. It happens all the time. So stick up for yourself, take pride in your work, and I'm passing it on for you.
I just think that you're always going to find bullies and you're always going to find people to bully you down into what they think that you're worth. Don't let them do that. It's not fair. If you have your experience, now I'm not saying that you can say that I'm now worth, $4,000 an hour. If you are, that's fantastic.
If you can pull that off, bravo.
But I'm saying if you have a realistic number, this is what I'm worth. This is how long the project's going to take me. This is what the final budget's going to be. Stick to that. It's not worth, what's going to happen. It's going to pain you in the end, and it's not worth that.
What do you mean, pain you in the end?
Pain.
What does that mean?
Like they come back and they have all these changes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
So just, it's just not, just take pride in yourself.
Yeah.
Have, and know that if this job, don't take the whole, well, this will be the last time. Okay, then I don't need to work with you. Don't let somebody bully you into making you feel less than what you are. Stick up for yourself, be strong, and, take it on the chin and know that there'll be a better offer and somebody that will come along that will appreciate you for you and your work, and that's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to pay bills and you got a family to take care of, do what's right. It's only you know your situation. I don't know your situation. I'm not saying turn down work and then your power gets shut off and then you text me and how much you hate me. No, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is there's going to always be people who try to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's willing, sometimes it's not. Sometimes they don't realize they're doing it. Sometimes they're very aware and they're like, this is just how I be, yo. Welcome to video. I've had a lot of people treat me like that. It's just, it is what it is. If you have any pride in what you're doing, if you put effort, if you made this thing and you want people to believe in you, don't put a discount label on it. The second you come out with a thing and it's cheaper than everybody else's thing of similar quality, the natural assumption is, oh, well, this is not very good. And it's only going to attract the people who are uber cheap. Yep. That's just how it is, Here's a news flash. If we had something on our website that didn't sell for the price that you see over a long period of time, it would no longer be that price. But in 6 years, prices have never changed. That's just how it is. Take pride in your work. Don't let people push you into making stupid decisions. Don't let people lie to you. Just, take it with a grain of salt. Get yourself a Steph. I believe I said this last episode. Get yourself a Steph. Seriously, we should make a getyourselfasteph.com. Get yourself a Steph. If you're worried or someone's like planting a seed in your brain about, oh man, maybe this really should be free, get yourself a Steph. You can't have this Steph, but you got to get yourself a Steph.
I'll get you. I'll get you.
So again, no questions. It's just.
But thank you for all of the positive comments and positivity that we're getting.
Lots of
it's
private
fantastic.
Messages.
A lot of private messaging. So thank you for all of that. It makes us like to get in front of you because it's kind of scary. This talk.
Yeah, she's not scared. She was in Disney parades, for crying out loud. She's not afraid.
I was a parade performer.
So
for a little bit.
That's basically it. We've got, don't forget, every Tuesday and Thursday night.
This week we've got great guests. We have Walter Biscardi and Eric Hartman.
Eric's up this week?
Yeah.
Nice.
So Walter's going to be talking about working in Atlanta. He runs his own company. He's a whole... He does everything.
He's got a network. He's got a company. He's a shooter, editor, writer, director, producer.
That's a user group.
He runs a huge, not just a user group. He runs a massive user group.
So it'd be fun talking to him. Plus, he likes to cruise, so we'll get to talk about that, which is really fun. And then Eric is from New Jersey.
Sea Light Entertainment.
Sea Light Entertainment.
They helped us produce our gun volume. They were critical for the pre-production and production. So, and we've known them, for crying out loud,
a long time.
Actually, I've known Eric longer than... No, I've known you guys about the same amount of time. So, yeah. About 10 years with Eric. So, great friend. Can't wait to talk to him. Miss him. And, of course, he's got an amazing wife, Kelly. She's probably cooler than he is. Actually, she is definitely cooler than he is. But we'll talk about that on the show. Anyway, every Tuesday and Thursday night.
So you can go to rampantlive.com. Mm-hmm. There's a little button. It looks like this. It's a little square button. It says Watch Live. It's orange. So go click on that.
Or for those of you in the rest of the country, orange.
It'll take you to the correct link. If it's before, you can actually subscribe so you get a reminder. Watch live on rampantlive.com. That's a little button. So go watch it. Go click on it. Subscribe and join us. We talk. It's all live. So literally, you're talking to us at the same time that our guests are talking to us. So
well, we try to wait for them to finish speaking, but yes. Yes. If you're not a guest on the show, there is a huge list of people who can come in and talk and ask questions. And if the guest is open to it, you can actually call in as well. We haven't had that yet because it's just never been that kind of a forum. But still, you can totally talk to them and ask them questions. So if you like Walter Biscardi or you like Eric Hartman, jump on in and talk to them.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun show. It's really, really fun.
We've talked with Kess and Colin Smith. And Kess is one of my all-time favorite people. Colin is an amazing human being. Speaking of free training, go to Colin's thing, Video Revealed. Any Adobe product, he's giving you just a disturbing amount of free knowledge. And it's all free.
So, Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. EST. So, EST. So, join us. It's fun. It's casual.
Super more casual than this. It's just talking.
It's really fun.
It's just talking.
So, join us for that. And as always, you can find this vlog and podcast on our runningrampant.biz.
I'm going to take over Stephanie's job. .biz! That's just what she does every time. So there you go.
So at runningrampant.biz, you can find all the stuff on YouTube, Vimeo, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. If there's a way to hear it or see it, it's there. So check us out on that. And that's everything.
Oh, we have a big end of May, Memorial Day, whatever you want to call it, spring sale. 50% off of everything until, I want to say it's until this Friday. This is going to be your last chance for quite a while to get this kind of a discount on our stuff. We're producing all kinds of new content, but this is the big push into the summer. So if you missed our NAB sale or a birthday sale, this is about it. So 50% off, coupon code what? RDT50, RDT50 will get you 50% off of everything. And some of those cases, it's knocking products down to like $12, $15. It's ridiculous. So
Yep.
Yeah. So cool.
So that's it. Thanks guys for watching. We love talking to you. And don't forget to send us your questions and keep the comments coming. They really mean the world to us. It's great to have so much positivity. Yes. And
we love each and every one of you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for allowing me to spend my days with this knucklehead right here. Seriously, we love each and every one of you. Thank you for all your positivity. We're getting a lot of private messages. A lot of people saying they don't want their comments or questions being put on the show. We don't bite, but you know what? We'll respect that. But thank you, though. Thank you for all the emails and the phone calls and the texts and everything else. We love all of you, and we'll see you guys, next week?
Next week.
Or we'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night, rampantlive.com.
We have way too many websites. I need a website that takes me to the websites,
rampantlive.com and runningrampant.biz.
And rampanttdesigntools.com.
Yep.
And rampantbackgrounds.com.
Yeah.
And askrampant.com. And where in the world is FinalCutStef.com.
Right here.
That would be a cool game. Where in the world is Final Cut Stuff? It's always going to
be at my desk, which is right there.
There. Literally right there. All right. Cool. We're just messing around. Love you guys. Thank you so much for all the support. And please tell your friends about Rampant.
Yes.
And we'll catch you all later. Yeah. Run Rampant, y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Married dastardly.